Here we go. I was born by the river in a little tent city. Oh, just like a river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh, yes, we. It's been too hard living ever. I'm afraid to die. Say, I don't know what's out there. Say be honest, guy. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh, yes it will. Said I go to the movies.
No, it wasn't, but it should have been.
And I go downtown. Somebody keeps saying, William, 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 don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh, yes it will. Then I go to my brother and say, brother,
when you see people
help me please,
go through that struggle to become something, to make something of their lives, when you go through that struggle and you come out of it, you come out a different kind of person. You come out changed, transformed. And that's what she does to her students. They may come in one way, but they go out a different way. And her students love her. You know, some professors at campus, you know, their students come, then the students will leave, and we'll never see them again. Her students keep up with her. You know, she's the kind of professor that if you have her at one time, you come back at homecoming 10 years later, you're looking for her. That's the kind of impact she has on people. I'm not going to tell you about her book. I'm going to let her tell you about her book. But when you have this kind of person putting out what she feels is what's critical to becoming successful, you need to listen, because this is the kind of person that makes change in people, that helps people become their better selves. And this is the kind of person that can help you and help you help others. So today, we want to bring up Dr. Glass.
So don't try and knock me down.
I just want to say thank you all so much for coming out to support me, because I know that you didn't have to. And one thing about me, and my students will tell you this, I've never been a person who's been driven by numbers. Numbers don't mean anything. It's the quality of the people that you have in your life. And one of the things I learned is that the further you go, the smaller your circle, the fewer your friends, and the more you learn to use your buckets. People are often shocked that I grew up without any indoor plumbing, carrying buckets of water. And I don't know if you all know about those 10-gallon lard buckets. Yes. But those 10-gallon lard buckets we use for absolutely everything. And at the time I hated it. I just felt po. I didn't feel poor. There was no O-R. I just felt po. You know, and I said, Lord, why me? But now today, I can look at those buckets. I can look at my experiences and understand that I would not have been the person I have become had I not gone through that. So Sometimes we want to complain about the hand that life deals us. Yes. But there's always a reason that you've got that particular hand. And so I wrote a poem about buckets, and I just want to encourage you all so that you can use your buckets. Buckets, buckets were everywhere, all through the house and on the stairs. They were used for everything, from holding flour to the water we drink. Those buckets seemed to teach me so much. They held what they were told without any fuss. Those big 5-gallon lard containers served their original purpose, but were still used later. In the absence of any indoor plumbing, those buckets were our bathroom that we ended up dumping. I can't say that was fun or even enjoyable, but it could have been worse, even though it wasn't flushable. We carried in coal and wood for heat, all in those same buckets, and it wasn't a treat. Sometimes the buckets were heavy and burdensome, but we carried them even if it took a twosome. I remember the taste of the water from within, using the old metal dipper that in the bucket seemed to swim. The water tasted ever so sweet and cool. In the summer, it made me wish I was at the pool. When Mama cooked, it was straight to those buckets that held the flour, meal, sugar, and lard. Those buckets had Tupperware beat by far. With a very large family to feed, those filled buckets made sure Mama had everything she might need. And when the buckets began to get low, Daddy knew it was time to go back to the store. Those buckets held what went into our bodies and what eventually came out. I knew they would be there in the house, and never did I have a doubt. I learned many a lesson because of those buckets, one of which was that among people, I am one of the luckiest. Even though at the time, I hated those buckets because they represented work, now they represent my responsibility and my inability to shirk. Shirk the need to carry some burdens and to empty out some others. Understanding that the responsibility belongs to all of us and not just to the mothers. Not to shirk the responsibility of each one to do their own special part. Learning that responsibility for myself and others early on from the start. Not to shirk the need to provide water, heat, and food. Nor about the weight or work to allow myself to brood. Life is hard and not always fair to each of us individually. But if you use the buckets that you're given, then you'll get through it eventually. I learned that having the buckets made my life a little easier because I could carry more in fewer trips, and that was quite a pleaser. I learned that those old buckets could serve the purpose that we needed, and we could do it all together if the voice of our elders we just heeded. You may have never found yourself using those old 10-gallon buckets, but you may learn some of life's lessons here that will save yourself some ducats. Life provides us all with sources of our own lifelong success lessons. Learn them well and you will discover your life is full of blessings. When I think back on my childhood and how I grew up way back then, I know that God and my family prepared me in life to win. So when you find yourself discouraged and ready to give up, remember the lessons of the buckets and instead just get on up. Up on your feet and adapt to the trials and tribulations of your life. Up in your spirit and rejoice because you have what it takes to make it through any strife. Up in your mind and stay strong and focused on the goal and on the plan. Up in your body and use your strength no matter what to make a stand. Buckets, large and small, full and empty, no matter what the state. There is a lesson to learn and use for each. Remember, you hold your fate. So make wise choices and use those lessons learned to provide you with success. Just do your part, work real hard, and God will do the rest. Yeah.